Good morning, students. Welcome to ALPHORES e-learning classes. Welcome to Economics first year, Unit 7, that is National Income Analysis. It is what? National Income Analysis. In the last class, we have seen what are the determinants of national income. What are the determinants of national income? And what is national income? Today, we will see different concepts of national income. To understand the national income, we need to know these all concepts, because these concepts gives you an in-depth meaning how to calculate or how to see the national income at different levels. There are around 10 to 11 different levels we will see in this concepts of national income. Out of those 11 levels, we will be going to talk 5 of them today. That is concepts of national income. And the calculation of national income is not such an easy thing. Even to calculate a family income, it is not such an easy thing, because you need to maintain a total account. To run one small business, being account students, you know, even to run a small business, you need to write all the accounts. And writing those accounts are not so easy. Already you are watching what is happening in accounts. You need to have plenty of things have to be accumulated at one place, and you need to put them all on the paper, and a lot of things have to be discussed under that. If a business account, a family account, or an industry account, to maintain that much efforts have to be put, then what about the national income? A country's total income. We already seen what is national income. The market value of all final goods and services multiplied with the prices, then you will get national income. That for a country in a stipulated period of time. Now, we will see the different concepts. The first one is, here you will see the GNP at market prices. Let me give you the total data. If you are writing, better you write it down on the paper. From the beginning, I tell you that put a notebook, a pen, and keep writing. Then only you can enjoy the class. Gross national product. GNP means gross national product at market prices. GNP at market prices. What is meant by GNP at market prices? Gross national product. Here in this one particularly, we calculate where it is not produced is not important. Who produced is more important. Whether it is being produced in our country or outside our country, wherever it is being produced, the returns whatever coming to our India will be calculated under this GNP. The gross national product is included with all that which is produced by the Indians, wherever they are producing, whatever carried back to India, everything will be calculated in this gross national product at market prices. GNP at market prices. This is the total products of the country will be multiplied by the current market prices. Then you will get this GNP at market prices. See, in this one there is a small problem. Sometimes prices increases, sometimes prices decreases. We had a discussion about this. So, whenever prices increases, it is generally called as inflation. In the next chapter, we will discuss about this, inflation. Due to inflation, sometimes it looks like GNP at market prices increased. To avoid that problem, sometimes we calculate GNP at market prices or GNP or national income at 3 levels. One is at constant prices, one is at current prices, and one is at that year's prices. At 3 levels when we calculate, we will get to know exactly what is the inflation rate, whether the production is increasing or decreasing. To know all these details, we need to see this GNP at market prices. There is reason behind calculating the GNP at market prices, calculating GNP at factor cost. These things gives you an in-depth idea what is happening with product. Really production is increasing or decreasing, whether only market prices are increasing or production is also increasing, can be calculated by using all these concepts. So GNP at market prices is included with C plus I plus G plus X minus M plus NIFA, net income from abroad. Now I'll explain you one after another. C represents consumption of all the people in the country. Whatever the commodities, goods and services put together called as commodities, whatever the goods and services consumed by the total population of the country comes under C. We need to calculate the total consumption or the goods and services consumed by the public. That has to be multiplied by the market prices, that is C. C means all the production which is consumed by the country people. C. I. Total investment of the public which is saved and invested in the business comes under I. Investment. C means consumption. I means investment. You keep writing. It is better for you. So all the consumption of the country people, that products have to be multiplied by the market prices plus total investment of the public which is done by the people into the business or savings into the banks, that will be calculated C plus I plus G. Government also spend a lot of amount, you know that. On public services, government spends a lot of amount. It purchases plenty of commodities from the private sector like cars, like buses, like parts of trains, and expenditure on the tracks laying, railway tracks laying, aeroplanes from other countries, ammunition, arms, everything it's going to purchase from other countries. Whatever the money has been spent by the government comes under G. See, even maintenance of the roads, maintenance of the roads of within the villages and laying the roads, and R&B, roads and buildings, schools, health facilities, hospitals, everything has to be maintained by whom? Government. For that, government has to spend the amount. The total amount which is being spent by government, total money which is spent by the public for their consumption purposes, and total money which is invested by the public, we will put together C consumption plus I investment plus G government expenditure plus X minus M exports minus imports. This has to be considered. Exports minus imports. If exports are higher and imports are lower, exports greater than the imports, then it is in the positive way. Something will be added, that is surplus. If X and M, exports and imports, are equal, then balanced, neither something added nor something removed. If imports are greater than exports, exports are less, imports are more, then the money from this will goes out, means it will be deficit. Surplus, balanced and deficit. So this X minus M may be added or may not be added, sometimes even removed from C plus I plus G. That is exports minus imports, okay, plus net income from abroad. In your textbook, they left it here itself. C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Here they left it. But if you read the textbook properly, you will find the last line of that paragraph talks about net income from abroad. Our country people, at the beginning itself I told you, who is producing, wherever it is produced, who is producing is more important. Even in the foreign countries, our people are producing and getting that money back to our country, then it will be called as net income from abroad. Net income from abroad, that will be added to the GNP at market prices. So GNP at market prices equals to consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus X minus M, exports minus imports plus net income from abroad. When you put all this together, then it makes GNP at market prices. With market prices, we will multiply all these things. Now, we will go to the GNP at factor cost. What is meant by factor cost? Factor cost means, already we have seen, there are 4 factors: land, labor, capital and organization. Whatever money paid to these 4 factors is called as factor cost. And you know the difference in between price and cost. Price means what paid by the consumer. Cost means what paid, what spent by the producer. So, gross national product at factor cost. Gross national product at factor cost equals to GNP at market price. So, this is a basic one. If you have this GNP at market prices, we can calculate everything. All other concepts takes birth from GNP at market prices. To know all other concepts, details, you should understand GNP at market prices better. That's why I took more than enough time to explain you all these things. Consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus exports minus imports plus net income from abroad is GNP at market prices. From this, we need to remove indirect taxes. What is meant by indirect tax? There are plenty of taxes. Sales tax, octroi tax, customs duty, excise duty, and nowadays new one, GST, dumping, anti-dumping bill, duty, anti-dumping duty. All these will be included into indirect taxes. So whatever the GNP at market prices, from this we need to remove indirect taxes. And to GNP at market prices, we have to add subsidies. Subsidies are what? This comes under government policies. Whenever government want to encourage the people to produce a certain commodity, goods or services, certain commodity, government starts giving it subsidies, some additional amount. So automatically out of the cost, subsidy has to be removed. Then you will get the exact idea. So here, the factor cost of GNP, gross national product at factor cost, will come out of GNP at market prices minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. If subsidies is added to GNP at market price and indirect taxes removed, whatever is left, that is going to be GNP at factor cost. Now you do understand the exact concept. GNP at market prices includes with C plus I plus G plus X minus M plus net income from abroad, consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus exports minus imports plus net income from abroad. This is GNP at market price. From GNP at market prices, if you remove indirect taxes, just now I told you all those indirect taxes. Remove those indirect taxes. I am not talking about the direct taxes which is paid by the persons. I am not talking about which. Indirect taxes are paid by the organizations. So that taxes are added to the factor cost. Okay, so that has to be removed from market price, and government subsidies have to be added to the GNP at market price. Then that makes the GNP at factor cost. Generally, GNP at factor cost will be less than GNP at market prices. GNP at market prices are greater than GNP at factor cost because of indirect taxes. That's why we remove indirect taxes and we add government subsidies, then we will get GNP at factor cost. Hope you did get it. If you have any doubts, you know my number. You can give me a ring. Okay, or else I'll write it down here. 9849268809. This is my number. Okay, and my name is Kasturi Shivaprasad. So you can call me on this number and you can ask me the doubts. I can clarify them. Okay, let me go to the third point, that is GDP at market prices. Gross domestic product, gross national product, gross domestic product at market prices. Difference is, this is national product, this is domestic product. Here, when I was introducing this at market prices, GNP, I told you, where it is produced is not important. Who produced is important. Whether it is produced in India or America, it has to be produced by Indians. And the profits have to be carried to India, net income from abroad. But GDP is a different one. In this one, who produced is not important. Where it is produced is important. Within the parameters of the country, within the borders of the country, in the domestic area of a country, whatever being produced, it comes under GDP. GDP means gross domestic product. Within the country, what is produced comes under GDP at market prices. You got it? Here the third concept is GDP at market prices. Gross domestic product at market prices. It has to be produced within the country, not outside the country. What is produced outside the country will be calculated under GNP. Other side the country, others out of the borders, whatever is produced included in GNP. In GDP, only what is produced in the country will be included. So for that, what we do? We take, I told you already at the second level itself, this is going to be the base of everything. GNP at market prices is going to be the base of everything. We will take GNP at market prices and we remove net income from abroad, because this is coming from outside, which is produced not within the country but which is produced outside the country. When you remove net income from abroad, then you will get the GDP at market prices. Take the GNP at market prices and remove net income from abroad, then you will get the GDP at market prices. That can be seen as C plus I plus G and X minus M. NIFA is not included. Net income from abroad is not included. Then you will get GDP at market prices. So again, for this, what is the base? GNP at market prices is the base. From GNP at market prices only, we will calculate GNP at factor cost, GDP at market prices. Okay, I hope you did get it easily, because as we go, the things will become easier. Only understanding GNP at market prices takes a little bit of time. Next, factor cost. Simplest thing. Only what you have to do from GNP at market prices, remove indirect taxes and add subsidies. You will get the factor cost. Same principle is going to apply again and again. Whenever you want the factor cost from market prices, you have to remove indirect taxes from the market prices and add the subsidies to the market prices, then it is going to be the factor cost. See here, GDP at market prices. GNP minus net income from abroad equals to GDP at market prices. Now let us go to NNP at market prices. Net national product at market prices. You know, always NNP is always less than GDP. Gross is bigger level, net is smaller level. We have seen gross profit, net profit, gross interest, net interest. Net interest is part of gross interest. Net profit is part of gross profit. So here, net national product. is part of GNP. When you remove something out of GNP at market prices, then you will get NNP. So what is this we are going to remove from GNP at market prices? Something has to be removed from GNP, then you will get NNP, because NNP is going to be part of GNP. So what we are going to remove from GNP at market prices and get NNP at market prices? Now we will see. As time goes on, all commodities, particularly goods, loses its value. As you go on using the building, its value will decrease. As you go on using a machinery, its value decreases. Even car, a truck, a two-wheeler, because it goes through the wear and tear. Wear and tear. It loses its value. It needs some repairs, replacements. Like if there is a tube light, after some days the tube will fail. It needs the replacement. Okay, you have to remove the rod, tube rod, and you have to put a new tube rod. Fan will get the wear and tear. After some days the coil will burn out. Even switchboards burns out. Everything goes through the wear and tear. They spoil. So whenever those things happens, that has to be replaced by the new things. That losing of value of those commodities is called as depreciation. If you purchase a new bike, can you sell that new bike after 1 year at the same price? No, it loses 50% of the value. If you purchase a car, even if you don't use it, just get that car from the showroom and put it in your house. After 1 year, if you want to sell it, can you sell it at the same price? No. Value will decrease. The decreasing of value is called as depreciation. Being account students, you know what is a depreciation. So here, see, again, to get NNP at market prices, we take GNP at market prices. GNP at market prices. Gross national product at market prices. From this, I told you all that wear and tear, depreciation, value depreciation. That depreciation has to be removed from GNP at market prices. Then you will get NNP at market prices. For everything, this is going to be the base thing. To get the GNP at factor cost, we want GNP at market price. To know the GDP, gross domestic product at market prices, again we want GNP at market prices. Remove the net income from abroad. Then you will get it. Here, net national product at market prices equals to gross national product at market prices minus depreciation. You will get NNP at market prices. Now let me complete NNP at factor cost. What we did? GNP at market prices. We took the GNP at market prices and we removed indirect taxes and we added the subsidies. In the same way here again, for net national product at factor cost, we take NNP at market price. Like to know the GNP at factor cost, we took the GNP at market price. Same way, to know the NNP at factor cost, we will take NNP at market price and we remove indirect taxes and we add subsidies. So simple. Same like 1 and 2, we will do the 4 and 5. We know the market prices. To know the factor cost, you have to remove the indirect taxes, add the subsidies. Same here, we know the NNP at market prices. What is NNP at market prices? GNP at market prices minus depreciation. That is NNP at market prices. To know the NNP at factor cost, net national product at factor cost, take the NNP at market price, remove indirect taxes and add subsidies. Or if you want to make it lengthy, then you have to do one thing. You have to take the GNP at market prices. To know the NNP at factor cost, you have to take the GNP at market prices. I write it down. To make it lengthy, So we will make it lengthy. GNP at market prices minus depreciation minus indirect tax plus subsidies. Then we will get NNP at factor cost. So instead of taking GNP at market prices, removing depreciation, we can do it NNP at factor cost and take the NNP at market price, remove the indirect tax, add the subsidies, you will get the NNP at factor cost. So simple. With this, today we completed 5 concepts. Tomorrow we will go through other 5 or 6 concepts and let us complete the concepts of national income. Today you understood GNP at market price, GNP at factor cost, GDP at market prices, NNP at market prices and NNP at factor cost. With this, today's lesson is completed.